93.8.
Our next topic, have you ever used a nicotine pouch? I'd never heard of them until I came across this research. They don't produce smoke, they don't require a vape, and they are being marketed as a cleaner, safer alternative to cigarettes. But are they really as harmless as they seem? So unlike traditional tobacco products, you put them under your lip, apparently, and they only contain nicotine. So apparently that makes them easier to use, more discreet, that sort of thing. But recent guidance from doctors here are warning that they're not without the risks. I'm delighted to say that I'm joined in the studio by Dr. Richa Mittal. She's a specialist pulmonologist at Medcare hospitals and medical centres. Welcome to the agenda, Dr. Mittal.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Really good to hear from you. Thank you so much for coming in to the studio. These products, nicotine pouches for a start, what exactly are they? How do they work? And are they approved?
Yeah, I think everyone is very curious about it. So nicotine pouches, they are small pouches, white colored.
And they basically contain the chemical nicotine. But with the nicotine also comes the sweeteners, the flavors and the plant fillers. So it's not just pure nicotine. And nicotine, it's a derived product from the tobacco plant. It doesn't have the tobacco leaves, so it's tobacco-free, but then it has the highly addictive substance, nicotine.
Okay, so you're still not going to get over your addiction by using these. What are the risks from your viewpoint as a pulmonologist of regular use?
So what we really do in nicotine pouches is that you keep them between your gum and lips. They get absorbed from your buccal mucosa. Now that's the lining of your mouth. What happens, the early effects that we can see is the irritation of the gums, the teeth and gum diseases, dental diseases, sometimes bad vomiting, acidity, and stomach upset. But the long term, it can also has an adverse effect on your heart. It can increase the blood pressure, increase the heart rate, makes your arteries very stiff. And in the long run, you're prone to heart attacks. Very toxic for the pregnant woman because it's toxic to the fetus development and has adverse pregnancy outcomes. Now let's come to the youth. In youth, it's really dangerous. Why? Because nicotine, now your brain develops until about the age of 25. Nicotine interferes with that brain development. It affects the area of the brain which regulates your attention, learning, memory, and also impulse control. So it's really toxic and has adverse effects for the youth, where it is very commonly being used, these nicotine pouches. So at the end of the day, nicotine is a highly addictive substance. So you get dependent on it. Getting off nicotine is always a challenge.
I had never even heard of them. For want of sounding like a dinosaur at 41, never even knew they existed. I thought when I first read the research, it was about patches, the ones you stick on your arms. Are they safer than smoking, though?
Oh, so the short answer for that is maybe. Now, the key word here is maybe. They might be safer than conventional cigarette smoking, but they are definitely not safe. They come with their own bag of harmful effects. As I said earlier, they affect everything from gums to heart to lungs and the brain development, and very toxic to the youth, young adults and the pregnant women. So they are safer than the conventional cigarettes, but definitely not safe. They are not harmless, even though they are tobacco-free.
Gosh, Dr. Mittal, we've actually got about 30 seconds. So just quickly, are you seeing more patients presenting symptoms as a side effect of using these in your practice?
So short-term effects, yes, I'm seeing. And it's very common in Dubai that I see people using these nicotine pouches. But long-term effects, it's an unknown territory. We don't know. It's not even a decade old, these nicotine pouches. They are not approved by FDA for smoking cessation. They are marketed there. It's a very appealing market that they're coming with different flavors, attractive packages. But long-term effects, it's still unknown. There are so many unanswered questions. So I counsel all my patients not to use them. And if at all, go to the therapies which we have approval for, which have been studied very well, and we know what we are dealing with.
Okay, thank you so much for that advice. That was Dr. Richa Mittal. She's specialist pulmonologist at Medcare hospitals and medical centres. I don't know about you, but it really annoys me when these things like vapes are released and they're not necessarily approved, and yet humans can use them. It's a bit like electronic scooters and those dirt bikes as well. There's these products released, but there's no kind of there's no authority around them, and so we can use them as humans without knowing the risks and the long-term effects, like the doctor just said there. Have you tried a nicotine pouch? Like I said, I'd never heard of them. Or do say your teenagers use them? You can contact me. The Instagram tag is _Katie_Chambers.
The Agenda on Dubai Eye 103.8.
This band